So, now that we've kind of talked about Florida and what we obviously the elephant in the room is the quarterback play. And there's been wide speculation that there's going to be a change made this week for Missouri, whether Stetson Bennett was healthy or not. Now, it is worth noting Stetson Bennett was doing, like Kirby said, he was doing some decent things at the start of that game. He stood in there and threw a BB to Jack Saint before that terrible leg injury that he suffered. And before we get into the quarterback play, I think, you're rolling. You're up 13-0 on that play, but seeing a young, promising player like that have such a horrific injury, we got to remember these guys, these young men, they're human beings, and that has to take a little bit of a mental and emotional toll on you, does it not?
Yeah, I think so, 1,000%. I can remember like 2012, Marlon Brown being on the ground and me looking at him like, "Yo, get up!" Like, and him not being able to get up, and I just remember thinking about that like for like 10 plays later. I'm like, "Damn, he down bad." Like, so yeah, it definitely plays a toll, bro. It's tough. So in a game like that, it definitely plays a toll, and it's tough to kind of shake away from that.
It reminds us too, right, that we, even though we look like Superman, we work out. Those guys work out still, and could probably lift a ton and all that stuff. They're human. They're human, and that just brings everything back into reality, man. You look at this helmet. I was playing around earlier, but you have 99 on the back of it. That's David Jacobs. He had a stroke by year. Here's a guy that's going to the league, man. So you never want to see that kind of impact on the field, man. It really does hurt, especially because this is the respect that we have for each other, whether as adversaries or as combative players. You respect the grind. That player, you never want that to happen to anyone, because you understand the fact that player put a lot of work in to get to where he is right now. So it was definitely commendable to see Florida come up. I saw some guys praying and stuff like that. So you never want to see that, and it does deflate the whole environment for a while there. It stops.
Yeah, and absolutely, and they did say, just a little update on that. They said, Marcus has already had his surgery, successful surgery on his leg, so he should recoup just fine. And he's a tremendous athlete, a tireless worker. I mean, there's just if you follow him on social media and stuff like that, before he even arrived at Georgia, man, the workouts and the stuff that the kid puts in, he was like a pro before he even arrived at Georgia in terms of his mental mindset. So a guy like that's going to bounce back. But getting back to the point of the quarterback play, Bennett, he stays in there because he knows he's going to take a BB, and he gets drilled on that shoulder and it separates the AC joint. Just wasn't accurate the rest of the game. Tried to play. He went and got a shot in the locker room, come back, numb that thing up, and then still tried to play. So kudos to him for giving it all he's got. But Kirby makes the change, and then Dwan Mathis. I'm sure you got to commend Dwan Mathis for coming back through all that. He's come back just to play the game of football, but does not look prepared, does not look ready to kind of be in that moment right now. So now the question goes forward, guys. What do you think ends up happening going forward at the quarterback position? TK, then Verron. What's going on?
Well, I mean, kind of going back to Dwan. I mean, I think that preparing yourself for that moment starts before that. I think that hanging his head, after getting pulled in that Arkansas game, getting put in late and not having enthusiasm, I think those things play a toll. I think those things carry with you when you're
bad body language.
Yeah, I think they play a toll, and I think that if if you have bad body languages, I'm gonna notice that as a teammate. So when it's your time to step into a game and you're in the huddle and you're real lackadaisical and it's just kind of your mouthpiece just hanging. You know, it's not a good look. So to your teammates, you know what I'm saying? So you're from that. Me saying that, I say that to say this: your head's got to be there from the get go. From the get go, what he got pulled, yes, he got pulled. Lack of confidence, whatever, all of that. Your head's got to be there. Your head's got to be there because at any given moment, you're the guy, man.
Yeah, like we're taught at a very young age, right? The next man's up, right? It's not going to wait. It's not. You got to be prepared. You got to be ready. To your point, you know, and that brings me to another point too, man. That's why I don't like all these stars and stuff, man, because it gives a false perception, man. You know, the SEC is tough. Make no mistake about that, man. So you're going against Giants, so you have nothing to hang your head about because you got pulled. And football is a game where I thought, you know, I would have definitely tried to mentor him and say, hey, look, it's going to be opportunity. Yeah. It's a collision sport. It's not a contact sport. It's stuff happens. Be ready to seize the moment again. And that very well could come again. I don't know. I don't know what the future holds. But I know this would have been a great opportunity to seize it in that Florida game. You want to get UGA, you want to get your coaching staff, you want to get your team camaraderie riding with you. Go throw a touchdown in that game. Go throw a touchdown in that game. You know, and everybody, even if we don't win, you understand me? Yeah, because like TK alluded to and said, people read your body language.
Yeah.
And that, as a quarterback, specifically, as a quarterback, hey, you are the leader. You are the face. And you got to know that. And let's be honest. All these kids come in and they have aspirations of playing at the next level. Well, here's the thing. At the next level, we win as a team, but the quarterback, you lost the game.
Oh yeah.
And they all stand up and say, it's on me. You hear me? They all stand up and that's what they're paying you to do. You know, and you know, I just didn't see that as well.
Well, yeah, there's been so much, about Stetson Bennett and about Kirby's hesitancy to pull him from games, even in that Kentucky game and stuff like that, so when the offense hadn't looked great. But I think anybody who knows football saw what happened when Stetson Bennett went out of that game, and they realize why Stetson Bennett has been started. Is Stetson Bennett the long-term answer at the University of Georgia? Absolutely not. Is he 100% the better quarterback right now of those two in terms of, like you said, TK, body language, presence, calmness? He hadn't been the most accurate, but he at least makes the team feel like they could probably score.
And let me be clear. I love DeJuan Mathis. I love him. I love him. I think he has all the tools, bro. But it starts here, and I know that sucks, bro. I've been cut before. I've been released. I know that shit sucks, getting pulled. Yeah. I know it, bro. Like, I know. But at the end of the day, you have one thing to do, and that is work, bro. And at the end of the day, I think I might have said this before. You can only do one thing, and that's control what you can control, and that's your effort and your attitude, G. And if you taking care of those two things, everything else is going to take care of itself. I truly feel this. If he was taking care of those two things, he would have stepped into that game with a whole different mindset.
Regardless. And hey, I love the fact that on this show we're calling spade, right? Because we could sit here and say, hey, he's young. This is the SEC. This is big boy football. Everybody in that locker room knows that once the what is it, like 4 teams call you get a knock from either Georgia, Clemson, Alabama,
Ohio State.
or who? Ohio State, right? But Georgia's in that.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You're playing for one of the elite of the all elite. So
Right.
make no mistake about it. We're not gonna do that.
Oh.
And
People forget, it's small. It's crazy how this small world. People talk about Justin Fields leaving Georgia and lamenting that. Well, guess what? When Justin Fields decided to go to Ohio State, Dwan Mathis was committed to Ohio State and came to Georgia when that happened. So it's not like Dwan Mathis wasn't wanted by. He was wanted by the Ohio State University.
And to that point, for confidence reasons, he's got to realize that, fam. Like he's got to realize it.
Exactly.
Yeah, but and I'm gonna go on your side right now, D, and give you the benefit of the doubt. Yes, it happened, but I got actually Hines Ward told me this, right? So my rookie year, I kid you not, I'm going across the middle and I gator arm. We're playing Baltimore. Number 52.
I know why.
Number 52 is there, and I gator arm. And Hines goes with his cardinal smile. You scared, were you? I said, yeah. You scared, bitch. I said, yeah. He said, did you get hit? He said, see? Catch the fucking ball next time. He said, catch the damn ball. He said, catch the damn ball. He said, you're going to get hit anyway, right? So catch the ball the next time. I was like, and after that, never dropped a pass, ever. But that was a lesson of maturity. And that's what we have to have in that. We have to hold each other accountable. Yeah. And call spades. That's what we had when I was at Georgia. I know Kirby and them had it. I know TK had it when he was there. We all folks. We all care, folks. But guess what? I'm gonna call your ass out. That's not acceptable. Yeah, I'm not cool with that. We're gonna have a team meeting, and that's BS. Yeah. And that's what we would have did. That's just me. That's just the goons that I played with.
Absolutely. So the $100 million question for Georgia is who's going to be the guy? Who's going to be the guy? And here's the thing: when you mentioned it, Verron, a while ago, you said Clemson, you said Alabama, and we said Ohio State. Well, guess what? Ohio State, Justin Fields, Alabama, Mac Jones, or Tua Tagovailoa before that, and then Trevor Lawrence and Deshaun Watson both been at Clemson. Georgia has yet, maybe since Aaron Murray, who played.
I said that to somebody
who was way above, played above his ceiling at times. To me, I mean, really overachieved. Aaron Murray did with what he had at in terms of his physical abilities. He played above his physical abilities, I think, at times. So where do y'all think? Do you think it's time to, if you were Kirby, would you decide, okay, now it's time to see just JT Daniels, or it's time to see Carson Beck, or what's your opinion on all that?
I'm not Kirby, right? But I'm going to tell you, just like everybody loves the damn backup quarterback. He ain't throwing a play. Shit.
That's the best job.
So that's easy for us to answer. Shit. Kirby knows the truth. Probably. I don't know what's going on. I don't know what's going on with the guy. But I do know that he was a player before he got hurt. So I don't know what's going on up there. Every Georgia fan would like to see him. You can't do any worse.
Well, and then you mentioned, and I'll get TK's point here, but you mentioned the stars, and recruiting. Carson Beck at one point was rated a 5-star, dropped down to a 4-star before he came. So you got him and JT Daniels that have yet to see the field this year. TK, what do you think ends up happening the rest of the year, or what do you think would be the best to happen to kind of lead Georgia into 2021?
Man, obviously, it can't hurt. Like V said, to put JT in there to see if it does spark something. It might spark something in the other two guys too. You never know. Carson. I don't know if I want to burn. What? You get 4 games? How that work?
Well, it
I don't know
doesn't
if I
matter.
want.
This year you can play.
Oh, you get a free one.
Everybody can play all games,
Right.
and
Okay. So
even
yeah,
seniors can come back.
yeah. Hey,
What?
we have an open quarterback.
Yes.
Bro, what? Why not?
Oh
That's gonna
man,
put
shit!
the
Let me
fire
put
under
back on my.
everybody.
Hey, let me put back on my helmet. I go in there and throw one pass. That's all I'm good for is one pass. Cause these
I can't
hamstrings,
throw.
boy.
I can't throw. I never got no receiver passes.
Well,
Yeah.
let's just say this too to people. There's a bunch of people out there that because of Kirby's what they call loyalty to Jake Fromm throughout his career and the whole Justin Fields saga, they like to paint it as Kirby was just simply playing Stetson Bennett because that's the guy he wanted to play. Guys, don't you believe if JT Daniels was practicing better and was fully healthy that he would have been the guy in there?
My man, Kirby has a family.
Exactly.
Kirby had the most picks up until last year in the SEC. I think he knows what he's doing.
Exactly.
Yeah, he has a family. First of all, he's gonna do whatever is in the best interest of that football team. Number one. So that whatever that is,
people can put that to bed.
Yeah,
we can put that to bed that he's just playing the guy he wants to play.
His dad is a old coach who's been around the game. Kirby was raised around the game. He knows football. Come on now.
So the reason, I think we're all in agreement here that the reason Stetson Bennett has been playing is because he, in Kirby and Todd Monken's mind, he was the best guy for the job at the time that was available to play.
Absolutely.
I mean, yeah, man, you show it in practice. Clearly, he's
absolutely
making the plays in practice.
And to your point that you said, like, it's not just practice. You got to understand your locker room too.
Correct.
For your quarterback, it has to be one of those guys that you might. We could talk about Tim Tebow. Tebow wasn't the best quarterback. But he was a natural leader that they I don't know how, they wanted to follow him. Yeah, right. And that's the intangibles that these stars or these 40-yard dash charts and all that stuff, it's the it factor. That goes beyond.
What they call that? I always wanted to say that. What they call it? Moxie. I always wanted to say that. Boy.
There you go.
There you go. Moxie about him. All right. So here's, I think, what all Georgia fans are kind of wanting to know. The Georgia community is kind of wanting to know who that guy's going to be, because at this point, it's been made abundantly clear that yes, Georgia has, and when they're healthy, maybe has the best defense in all of America when they're healthy, but even then, great offenses now just seem to be ahead of great defenses in the college game. So,
hold on. I can't ride with you on that. I cannot ride with you on that. And I'm an offensive guy. You cannot leave your defense out there all day.
No, you can't.
That's what
you can't.
I mean,
you can't, but you gotta be able to put up 40 plus.
You do, and you got to be able to run. Well, if you can't put up 40, you got to be able to methodically run that rock, like we did against Kentucky. We literally manhandled them and kept the defense fresh. But that's what you have to do. You have to complement each other.
Absolutely.
Oh, yeah,
I think kind of what I'm getting at though there is that Georgia doesn't have that elite level offense that these other programs seem to have right now, just because of execution and what really seems at the quarterback position. So going into the remainder of this year, I think Georgia needs to see what those guys have to see, what JT Daniels, see what Carson Beck, if it doesn't work out, you're pretty much out of the playoff picture, out of the SEC picture now. It's all about building momentum. You don't know how many games you're even going to get because of this COVID situation. Just let the guys play and see what happens. But going into 2021, if let's say a JT Daniels or a Carson Beck does come on and they solidify themselves in these last 3 or 4 or 5 games, that gives a big situation. That's huge going into 2021, because now you're not relying on a true freshman like Brock Vandegrift from Prince Avenue coming in and having to be the guy. against Clemson in his first ever football game to start off 2021. You know what I'm saying? So TK, what were you going to say, man?
Nothing. I was just kind of hitting on what you were saying. I mean, it's kind of open season, bro, at that quarterback position. Especially like you said, if this year is a free one, I'm all for seeing JT, Carson, Mishad, anybody. No, I'm for real though. I'm all for seeing Carson or JT, bro. Especially if they get a free year, yeah. Let's see them all. Open it up. So those boys will see that it's true competition, and maybe that'll spark some hunger, some focus, and we'll get something out of it.
And here's another thing that I would like to see too. Since it's like we're having problems in that, why not have a package in there where we're doing some Wildcat?
Oh yeah, the wild dog.
I would love to see Cook get that ball with 10 blockers. What?
Full
yeah. I'm gonna do a little John on you. Yeah.
Miami Dolphins with Ronnie Brown.
He is to the house. You hear me? He get a crease, he's gone.
Yeah.
You know, you do screen, whatever. It just now we really could get some work and open it up completely. Let's play football.
Yeah.
What else? Let's just maximize our potential right now.
Yeah.
See where we can get to.
And one more, and we're running a little long on time, so we're going to wrap it up after this segment. But I want to just ask you one last thing here, specifically pertaining about quarterback, because that's what people want to talk about. We know the defense, when healthy, is solid. We know that receivers are starting to step up and they're doing their thing. They're getting open. Quarterbacks just hadn't hit them, so that quarterback position is kind of where it comes down to for Georgia. Let's say nobody firmly grasped that position this year. And there's been a lot of consternation, a lot of heartburn in the Georgia deal about getting these 5-star quarterbacks and not necessarily playing them. You know, Jacob Eason goes elsewhere because of Jake Fromm. Justin Fields goes elsewhere because of Jake Fromm. Well, you got a 5-star in Brock Vandegrift who lives 15 minutes from the University of Georgia campus that's going to be there January 7th. He's going to be on campus. If nobody takes that job, if you guys were Kirby, just to get the 5-star guy a chance to develop, do you just say, hey, if you earn it, we're gonna go with you and gonna ride with you come the ups and downs to kind of get his career going, or are you still hoping JT and those guys develop?
I mean, it kind of go back to what I was saying. Kirby got a family. He's gonna do whatever is best. If that kid comes in and is killing it, yeah. We're going to ride with you, brother. If he comes in and shows those things that have been missing, the focus, the competitiveness, if his teammates gravitate to him, and he shows that he's the guy, then I'm sure Kirby's going to be like, yeah, we're going to ride with you through the ups and downs. Kind of like Matthew Stafford-ish.
Yeah, and here's the ultimate good problem, right, to have right there in this situation where you have multiple guys to choose from, right? Let's be honest. Last year, this time, we didn't think the portal was going to be so favorable to us. Who knows who's coming over from the portal, right? Like, let's get somebody miracle might come in. So now it's another battle where that's a good problem, man. Listen, guys, let's go back to it. We are one of the 4. When we call, you pick up that damn phone now.
Yeah, facts. That's facts.
Yeah, Georgia is definitely, and I think people are overreacting a little bit. Yes, people got to realize for 19, maybe 20 straight games, Georgia in the SEC controlled their own destiny. That is almost unheard of. I mean, you know what I'm saying? They were in a position where they were in control of their own destiny. This is the first time in 3-4 years that they've had to rely on, somebody else losing some games to get them back in the titles. And it does.
I tell you what, it sucks.
I told you I was hurt,
man. And I know every Georgia fan. I know every Georgia player because they're all competitors, and it just sucks, right? But this is the hand that we're dealt. So if I know anything about us, we're still gonna come out swinging and we're gonna fight. And the chips gonna fall where they may. I've seen weirder stuff happen, but hey, we still got an outside shot, and we're gonna show up.
Yeah,
because like what you say, TK, he has a family.
Yeah, that man got a family.
Right.
Absolutely. Well, we'll kind of leave it there on the overall talk of stuff. Just one thing, if you want to give us one thing, Parton, that you want to see throughout the rest of the year. Verron, you give us yours first, then TK. What do you want to see out of this Georgia football team the rest of the year?
I just want to see us maximize our potential, man. Whatever we have, right? Hey, forget the stars, forget all the hype. Now, just play. I want to see Georgia football, us put together a complete game, not a half. Don't give me no half. I want to see a complete, balanced game. Our defense has shown it. Our running game has shown it. At times, our passing game looked good, but it wasn't all in unison. Our special teams, we have good plays, but it wasn't in unison. I want to see a complete game.
Absolutely. TK?
I want to see that as well as just overall, man, I wanted to see that we have a competitive nature about us, that we keep a competitive nature about us. I know I know you got fans. They hear all kind of shit. They got fans, old ass guys like me, talking about them on podcasts and shit. So I know they hear shit, but I hope that they take that and they use that as fuel, bro, and they come out hungry and competitive and realize, again, that we are one of the four, right? We are one of the four. And every game is big because we're in it.
Yeah.
So,
absolutely.
So man,
and you guys did that. Credit to you.
Right.
You guys did that. This G is big, dog. This is Georgia.
Huge.
Absolutely.
Huge.
It's something that I know the Georgia players are aware of, like you guys are saying, and of course recruits are and things like that. And I think fans sometimes get a little jaded and take it for granted, all the winning that happens. So then when the losses come, right, it's woe is me. But guys, I really appreciate you joining me. This has been another edition of the Inside Slant with via Bulldog Illustrated. Remember, go check out Verron's charity, Vanquish Elite. You can see it at vanquishelite.com, and then TK's company, Rowdy Wellness, for alternative medicine, CBD oil, all that kind of stuff. Help fight against opioid addiction, all of those things. Check them out, Rowdy Wellness. And guys, thank you so much. Enjoyed it.
Fellas.
All right, brother. Appreciate y'all.
Yeah.
B, let's get out on that golf course, man.
Hey, I got you.